Hello and welcome to this edition of Eat Right with Rouse's. I'm your host, Keith Whiteside. Very glad to welcome in our favorite dietitian with Rouse's, April Sins. Hey, April, how are you?
Hi, Keith. I'm doing great. How are you today?
I'm doing very well, but I got to tell you, I sometimes struggle in the morning, and breakfast is not always easy for me. But boy, it's got to be worse getting kids ready to get back to school, huh?
I know you're exactly right, Keith. And hopefully, I can offer some tips today to kind of help reduce that stress level of being able to get that breakfast in the morning. And even if it's something that you have to take on the go, I have some examples for that too. But it doesn't have to be over complicated. So a lot of people think, sometimes that that just plain cereal and milk is not good enough for breakfast. They have to have more. They have to have this. They have to have a protein bar or this. It doesn't have to be over complicated. It's just about getting some different food groups in, combining them for a longer lasting, more satisfying breakfast can be a big key. So, thinking ahead for keeping the breakfast simple and delicious can be so helpful in mornings to go, to help them go a little bit smoother. So, sometimes just maybe thinking, on a Sunday as you prepare for the rest of the week, what's everybody going to have for breakfast as you think about lunches and dinners too. But we don't have to overcomplicate it. That's what I really want to stress today. One thing that you could do is you can also add in some some waffles. Okay, so think about a whole grain waffle. Could be a great option paired with some Rouse's peanut butter. So right then and there, you have a whole grain, which whole grains are regular grains that have fiber in it. So they've just been a little bit less processed. They have more of that whole fiber in there, which keeps us fuller a little longer, and it's also gut friendly too. Another thing too is you can also add on some blueberries. One thing I like to do, because I just have a little bit of kid in me, is I like to take some blueberries and put a blueberry in each hole of the waffle. I mean, that could be just something fun for the kids to do in the morning, right? So just kind of keeping that really simple combination there. Another thing is how about some Greek yogurt or just some regular yogurt with fruit? So right here I have some vanilla yogurt and I have a side of some fresh pineapple. It could be any fruit that you want to pair with it. But what I love about it is that the yogurt, it has protein in it and it has some carbohydrates in it. And then you're also going to be getting in that fruit with it too. Most of us don't eat enough fruit and vegetables throughout the day. So it's always good to be able to pair it with some things, even if it's in the morning, so that way we can get our nutrients, our minerals, and our great vitamins from those things. Another thing too, really simple. Now you can make a few of these ahead of time and put them in the refrigerator. That will make this so simple. But is making a little egg in a tortilla roll up. Okay.
Hmm.
So all I did was I took some scrambled egg, put it in a whole wheat tortilla, and I rolled it up, cut it in half, and it's ready to go. I have
Okay.
a little bit of salsa right here. My kids were saying that would be great with a little cheese in it. That would be a really great option. And then pairing it with a little orange juice, which a little bit of orange juice, if it's 100% juice, can also be considered a fruit. So just keeping that combination there. Now, that one, you make it ahead. You can also freeze those too. So
Right.
just a really great, easy option. Simple cereal and milk. Now I'm going to show you what I did with the cereal and milk, because I also added some fruit to it.
Yeah.
So I'm adding in some fruit on top of there, which is giving me some more vitamins and minerals and giving me that fruit serving, but it's also giving me some fiber too. So that's going to help me feel fuller after I eat the cereal and milk. And also the milk has some protein in it too. So just you see how I'm combining the different nutrients. I'm combining a little bit of protein in there. I'm trying to get some whole grains if I can, because it has that fiber in it. I'm putting in some fruit because it has those good vitamins and minerals, and it also has some good fiber in it as well. And then I have one other option right here, which there are tons of options, but this is just a few. Is some toast. I know a lot of y'all like toast. Okay,
Yeah.
so a little bit of toast, maybe with a little bit of butter on it, and then pairing that with maybe a little handful of fruit. I have some grapes right there. And then this is something called kefir, which is a probiotic. It's kind of like, it tastes basically like a drinkable yogurt. So that can be another option, and it's high in protein, and it just is a good way to kind of pull everything together as well. So a lot of options, and just really, really simple. I'm just really keeping it so uncomplicated because we don't need to make breakfast complicated, right?
Right. Especially stuff you can just pull right out of the freezer, pull right out of the refrigerator, make it nice and easy.
Yes.
I love the whole idea of yogurt. Maybe you could pair it with a pear.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So
I
that's
love
really
that.
pairing, right? And
That's a great pairing.
and so that's the other
Yes.
thing I really like is that having a little bit of fun with this as well. And kind of like the first thing you mentioned with the whole grain waffle, I love the idea of just getting a blueberry in each one of those holes. I can just imagine the kids starting to have a little fun at the beginning of the day already. Because like, oh no,
Yes.
mom, I need one more blueberry. I don't have them all filled, right?
Right? I mean, to get the kids asking for more blueberries, I mean,
Right.
that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, you've accomplished something first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We have
Yeah, yeah, it's a
arrived,
great
right?
idea.
I love it. So wonderful, wonderful breakfast options, very simple breakfast options. And that's for any of us, the kid in us and the kids at
Yeah.
home to get ready to get back to school. April, we can't thank you enough for all the great recommendations and options.
Thanks so much, Keith.
All right, guys, that will do it for this particular segment of Eat Right with Rouses. Don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming here on HTV.